geospatial intelligence. It opens our eyes, leads us in new directions, and creates unimaginable possibilities. It changes the very way in which we see the world, putting a new perspective in the palm of our hand. It provides understanding for better judgment, influences business decisions, empowers decision makers, and impacts lives. It gives birth to new occupations, new companies, and previously unheard of industries. And we've only scratched the surface of this GeoInt revolution. There's only one place, one event, where the brightest minds from industry, government, and academia come together. Where politics is set aside to explore new ways to see the world. This year, we are opening the aperture and charting new paths. This is the GeoInt 2015 Symposium.
Constant of world history, it's conflict. Given that there are people who are extremists, who are willing to die for their cause, is it likely that we will have an attack on the United States of some significance? And I think that's very likely that we will.
The major threat problems that we have today are a deteriorating economic environment globally.
If we don't have an alternative to fossil fuel, that's going to set up winners and losers. That'll set up conflict across borders.
The advent of these weapons with mass and complex effects is probably the largest threat that anyone around the globe faces, and certainly that we, the United States, face.
There are new nation states building very sophisticated weaponry that will threaten the United States, both in a strategic context and a tactical context. Just imagine, if you will, nuclear weapon in the hands of radicals. What do we do about that?
The effects of weapons like biological weapons are not merely the cause of death. They are the cause of social anxiety and panic. Indeed, the future is characterized by the complexity of many conditions and circumstances converging on us almost continuously.
The threats that we face don't recognize boundaries, whether those are physical boundaries or organizational boundaries or agency boundaries. And every time we're inhibited in our response to those threats by our own boundaries, we've lessened our impact. And when we lessen our impact, we lessen our services to those decision makers, and we ultimately affect our national security in a negative way.
The consequence to the nation if we don't integrate intelligence, I believe, is simply that we will miss things. We won't deliver the best possible solution set to our mission partners, whether that's the policymaker, the warfighter, or the first responder.
This type of warfare today, the types of threats that we face require rapid assimilation of information, rapid understanding and situational awareness, rapid decision. So if without integrated intelligence, it's like fighting with both hands tied behind your back, blindfold over your eyes. It's uncertainty, it's poor decisions, it's delayed decisions, it's loss of opportunity, it's loss of momentum.
So the way you are most likely to recognize the content, the substance, the early warning, the value of information is if you integrate it in the most comprehensive way. And that means that you understand sensors and capabilities, you understand collection, you understand the question, you understand the needs, potential threats, and you're putting that information together in a way that the sum is significantly larger, more valuable, more useful than the individual parts.
We can no longer afford to make the kind of mistakes that we've made in the past. I don't think we could have afforded to make them in the past, but we did, sometimes in the name of organizational purity or organizational arrogance, sometimes because disciplines didn't interrelate to each other, and sometimes because functional managers or functional doers simply lived in their own world and did not make reference to others.
Most people fail to integrate because it's easier to stay in a single lane. If you've got a cubicle in an office and you only have things come in your inbox and you put them in your outbox, you control how much work you have to do and what you have to be responsible for. When you force people to deal with much wider range of types of information, it's harder work. It's work to coordinate, it's work to integrate. It is sometimes a little bit scary.
Now the situation could be anywhere. And often we need that information in our fingertip near real time to be able to take appropriate actions. So the challenges are big, but those challenges can be addressed with the correct focus on integrated intelligence.
We have huge opportunities with the advent of cloud computing and the great advances in IT. If we don't take advantage of it and move smartly together, we'll find ourselves more disconnected. I think we have to pay attention to that.
It is about an attitude, it is about an approach, it is about an enthusiasm, and it is about a commitment to satisfying that customer's core need, which again is increased confidence at their point of decision, enhanced understanding when they need to act, reduced uncertainty when the trigger gets pulled.
I don't believe collaborative integrated intelligence is an option. We must do this.
There's great benefit in collaboration, but there's very strong resistance to collaboration and integration up front. Once you do it, you sample it, you taste it, you know what it's like, there's no going back.
Integrated intelligence is a major challenge, but it's a wonderful opportunity. It's a wonderful opportunity to work together in a collaborative fashion that we never had before.
The true value of integration is when you don't even have to think about it. It just happens because it becomes natural.
This is the new norm.
To only defend one spot or one part of America. We've got to defend all of America with all of the pieces that we have to put together, and we can do that.